Hey everybody. It's been a while, but I gotta bring back the old gasoline price hikes. We're at an election year now, and so the gas companies are raising the prices of gas. Um, and for some oddball reason, everybody, at least here in Texas, is saying it's all because of Biden, which is still the most idiotic accusation that they have ever come up with. You know, because the president is not telling these gas companies to raise the prices on us. Okay, the president is not telling everybody to gas price gouge our fuel. Okay, the president has been doing nothing but tax holidays and relief and all this good stuff. He's even released a couple of sanctions uh, around Venezuela and Guyana. Okay. And to top it all off, Venezuela still wants to attack Guyana, their next door neighbor country, because of the simple fact that Guyana, a third of that country, has oil that can be pulled, that can be drilled. Okay. They're all trying to find ways to illegally grab more oil and all this good stuff and sell to the U.S. Now, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I'm bringing this up, because especially because of the election year. To stand by our current president is not really a bad way to go. In fact, it's toughening up at a time where we really, really need to. Okay, and this is coming from me, the guy that's a delivery guy. Okay, I deliver groceries. I deliver auto parts. I deliver furniture. I deliver plumbing supplies. You know, all that requires gas. But yet you still see me doing this crap, toughing it out, doing my miles to gallon ratio and all that good stuff. Guys, to back out of it now is just a very horrible way to go. Remember, the gas is being the cost of gas is being risen by corporations and gas companies that don't want to drill safely. They want deregulated drilling. The proof is the fact that they still try to keep the Keystone pipeline going. Uh, the proof is that they're still um, trying to drill offshore. The proof is that they're still trying to get other countries to supply the fuel, instead of American companies just sticking to American lands and drilling safely without doing any harm to anything, like the wildlife preservations and sacred Native American burials. Okay, that's just disgusting. It always has been. It always will be. I got to remind everybody here, because of the simple fact that everybody's talking about Biden's raising the gas price. Biden isn't telling these companies to raise the gas price. Okay? And these gas companies, there's 7 major companies that could have already have been, they could have already had a refining station already built from as far back as 2020. Who hasn't? Okay? Even as far back as 2020, if they started back then, before Biden became president. Okay? But Biden becomes president and he tells Russia that we're not buying any of their oil. Why? Because it's not their oil. And I know I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. It's not Russian oil. It's stolen Crimean oil. It's stolen Ukrainian oil. It's stolen Croatian oil. It was stolen Bosnian oil. It was stolen Kosovo oil. Okay? Russia doesn't have any oil to give us unless they steal it from another country. We got a president, out of all the damn presidents that ever existed in the U.S., we finally have one that tells Russia to take that blood oil and shove it up their shove it up where, stick it where the sun don't shine. Okay? One president was capable of doing that. This one right here. And for some whacked out reason, the gas companies are pissed and saying, well, you voted for Biden, so we have to raise the gas prices. We don't have oil now. They could have been drilling and refining oil from, before Biden was even in charge. Okay, back when Trump was in charge, he deregulated everything. He got Keystone Pipeline to open. Okay, he got it open so that way we could serve it. And there's nothing but leaks, cracks, breaks in the pipeline, which caused nothing but a bunch of spills. And then to top it all off, there was nothing but polluting our waters. Okay, on the offshore drilling. And we still saw nothing but high prices. Now, granted, it's not the $3 that it is now. But back then, when we didn't really need minimum wage to be raised up to $15.50 per hour, close to $2, $1.50 to $2 was very expensive at the time. So even with all the deregulation, it was still expensive. Even with all of the deregulation where we were getting oil from Russia and the fuel from Russia, it was still too costly. The companies demanded tax breaks, they demanded more deregulation, and they demanded more of anything that needed to be done at the cost of the taxpayer dollar. They're still making these claims. And that's the reason why I'm coming back here again, reminding all of y'all again, the bull crap that's going on still. I'm not telling you something that you don't already know. I'm telling something that whether or not you can handle it, this is what's going on still. Now more than ever, we need to not cower down to or bow down to these corporations. Now more than ever, they need to roll up the sleeves. They need to get to work. They need to do it safely. And they need to do it without all these damn job cuts that they've been doing for, since the corporation started. They hire 100,000 people every year, and they let go a third of it every quarter year. Okay. And they do this on a routine basis. So they're claiming a lot of money after all of the job layoffs that they do. They were already making tons of money doing it that just off of that alone. Okay. The deregulations to not have to do anything safe made them earn even more. The people that they didn't lay off, people that got injured, well, that's more money for the companies to keep. One less employee to pay. You know this. You know how this works. Now more than ever, we need to hang on to the president we got. And the reason why I'm saying that is not because I think Biden is this great guy or whatever. It's just that nobody has shown up Biden. Not nowhere in the least. Okay? Nobody's worked out any deals. Nobody's got any bills ready to sign to make a safer and more productive fuel producing machine out of the industry, an American made machine where everybody in this country is protected, as well as well paid, as well as provided a great amount of good gasoline, affordable gasoline, okay, and oil. Nobody's working anything. In fact, the only one that's doing any kind of work at all is the current president. He's done releasing of the surplus. He's done finishing off deals that were already made by previous presidents from countries in the Middle East to Venezuela, Speaking of Venezuela again, he's released sanctions to where a certain amount of deals where 100,000 or 1 million barrels, I think it was 1 million barrels, were to come to us. A deal that was made a long time ago and ergo finished by the time he became president, and the deal was sought through to completion. I've stated this before. I can't remember the segment. I think it was regulation or oil companies, the corruption of the oil companies and the deregulation segment. And it's from as far back as 2021, mostly throughout 2022, when we were dealing with the gas price gouges, and it forced me to ask, why are we going through this kind of crap? And finding out all these god-awful answers about our American companies that just don't want to do any refining safely and providing for employers and stuff, all that good stuff that they claim to be, but in actuality are just these crooked, corrupt pieces of crap corporations out of the oil and fuel industry. Now, again, we really don't have much of a choice, because technically the only one that's actually worked on this kind of stuff is the current president, trying to make a deal. He said no to Russia because we don't want blood oil. They tried telling us, no, you're going to take our blood oil and you're going to love it, and you're going to pay top dollar for it. That's a no-go. He went over to the Middle East, and the Middle East, known for killing the journalists that are exploiting their abuses and corruption, they told Biden, no, you're going to pay top dollar for our oil, regardless of whoever we kill, regardless of whoever we oppress in our own country, and you're going to love it. Biden went to Venezuela, and Venezuela said, no, you're going to take all our migrants and whatever migrants that follow our migrants crossing the border, and you're going to pay top dollar for our oil, and you're going to look the other way when we attack Guyana, and you're going to love it. Okay? No country has done that to an American president, because no American president has said, stop your corruption or we stop buying your oil. Okay? He tried working out a peace deal and everything. He tried working out stuff with these countries. And they said no. They said, no, you're going to take whatever we dish out and you're going to pay top dollar for our product. Plain and simple. And the only reason why I keep saying, let's just stick with Biden, is because I'm looking at all the turncoats, even on the Democrat side, that won't say to you and me that we got a president that's standing up to these assholes, and that we got a president that wants to work out a deal with the companies and corporations here in America to provide more oil and gas. None of them are saying that. None of them are backing up the president. They're all just looking the other way. They're distracted. They're talking about healthcare. And on the Republican side, they're just demonizing him and saying, think of the children, save the children, which has nothing to do with oil or gas. But at the same time, that's what they're doing. They're demonizing the president. And this is all wrong. Okay? We've got one president in this day and age, at the time of this recording, right at this time, that's actually standing up to the bullcrap that other countries have been giving us. They've been buying our land, they've been breaking our laws, they've been doing this kind of shit, that kind of shit, and they're charging us top dollar while telling us to go piss up a rope When we tell them, hey, stop with this genocidal crap that you're doing in the name of profits, you know, nobody has done that. Just this one president has done that. You know, and every other person that says, oh, Biden sucks. Oh, Biden sucks. We can do better. How in the name of God can we do better? Who in the hell can do better than what's going on, than what this president is doing right now? You know, because nobody is taking a stand. Nobody is drawing a line in the sand. This president did. Now, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I can tell you what we actually need. What we need is the president to take it to the next step further, especially when he gets his second term, because Trump isn't going to win. He's going to get found guilty by one of his crimes, and by the time it comes for him to do serious time, he's going to pull an Edward Snowden and defect to Russia or some other country. I don't know. My best guess is that he's going to go to Russia. He's going to hide out in a little embassy over there and leave us with the bill, so to say. Okay, he's not going to make it to presidency, plain and simple. He's going to pull an Edward Snowden and leave, and we're going to be here with Biden, who again has nobody showing him up. Nobody's worked on any bills or policies to actually get this machine rolling, well oiled and rolling. You know, because the American oil and fuel system is just not doing anything. Okay, it won't do anything until deregulations take place, and anything and everything that they do is charged to the taxpayer, me and you. Okay, and to top it all off, they want to pay for nothing, not taxes, not fines, not fees, not even the invested money to produce and refine more oil and gas. Okay, they don't want to fit the bill for their own companies, their own business in this industry. They want you and me to pay for it. You see what I'm saying? There's just no point in looking at any other presidential candidate who not only won't tell the companies enough is enough with your bull crap, but can't tell these companies enough is enough with your bull crap. They don't know how, or they're, corporate bitches, they're willing to shake hands with Exxon and all them, the CEOs with Chevron and Shell and Citgo and all these guys, but they're not going to tell them what to do. They're not going to tell them not to do it safely. Okay, they're nothing but corporate bitches. Okay, and the rest of them don't know how to stand up to corporations. Okay, the only one that's actually taken the shot is Biden, and it's a messy step up, but at the same time, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Anything resembling martial law, and he's an automatic dictator, even in the eyes of the people that want him to stop corruption of the gasoline and oil industry. Now, he won't be considered a dictator in my eyes if he goes as far as martial law, if he goes as far as penalizing corporations for not doing their jobs as refiners and safely drilling without destroying wildlife and without drilling or plowing through sacred graves. Okay. So in my eyes, that's actually the best a president can do, if he actually fines, fees, puts a couple of CEOs under arrest, puts whoever authorized the illegal drilling or the illegal plowing over graves, uh, or the illegal drilling in wildlife areas and preserve areas where water is drinking water is supposed to be for the people and all this other crap. You know, if he puts any of those people that signed the permission slip, the signs the contract or the deed or the authorization papers behind bars, in my eyes, he's not a dictator. In my eyes, he's making a legal call to stop douchebags from destroying our water, from destroying wildlife preservation, from destroying sacred lands. You know, especially the clean water stuff, the clean water that's needed for our crops and animals for food. You know, I mean that should go without saying. But seeing as how Biden is already being labeled a socialist and a dictator and all this other crap, you know, and he's nowhere near martial law, you know. We're not going no there's no CEO suffering through any of this shit, you know? There's no corporations that are suffering. They're not even trying to budget with today's times. They're doing so well that they're price gouging and they're claiming that they're hurting. They're claiming, oh, we got to do it because Biden's hurting us. No, he's not. He's not telling, he can't hurt a corporation until he starts arresting people in that corporation, particularly the ones that authorize illegal drilling, that authorize destroying of land, that authorize quiet firing, you know, that authorize job layoffs to people that depend on them. You know, once we get a leader that does that, and I seriously doubt it's going to be Biden. I wish it was him, seeing as how he's already going as far as being labeled something. He might as well as play the role. But at the same time, dictators usually fall sucker to anybody that pays them the highest price. The dictators usually fall to the highest bidder of followers. And that's an oligarch thing that we just really don't need. So where do we go? Currently, I say stick with the same president, because it's pretty obvious when somebody like Trump that removed the credit card debt forgiveness policy, you know, the next president, should it be somebody that's nothing like the current one, which more than likely it isn't, is gonna do nothing but allow deregulations to the fuel and oil industry, and that's gonna be very sad and everything. But nevertheless, that's more or less what's gonna happen. So we've got a chance for voting for somebody that might take another step, or just keep on doing the same old thing that what he's doing right now, releasing surpluses and trying to finish deals with other countries and stuff, you know. And then the tax holiday, gas tax holiday, stuff like that. We expect either the same old, or him to actually pull out a policy that punishes these corporations and industries for doing this gas price gouging bullcrap that they're doing right now. And then saying, you know, when asked why you're doing that, their response, well, why did you vote for this guy? You know what I'm saying? It's just dumb. And I know it sounds kind of silly, but that's what I'm looking at every time I see that on the screen. You know, hey, why are you doing these illegal drills? Well, this president is hurting us. Hey, why are you shutting down that refinery? Well, this president. That's what I'm looking at. Now, they're not saying it in that fashion, but that's the idiocy that I'm looking at every time I see their BS excuses for doing something that's harming you and I, the consumer. So yeah, that's the thing that's got me going. I was going to do a segment about food delivery service apps because I also do food delivery service. I don't just deliver uh, parts and furniture and all this good stuff. I also deliver groceries. I also deliver food. And everybody in the journalistic world right now is trying to look for the most scandalous thing. Um, but nobody's really hitting hard on what makes this job hard and difficult and a pain in the ass, which could lead to something criminal. But don't say but. However, um, it's usually all thrown right out the window because we, the workers, the delivery guys, accepted the terms and conditions, pushed the check box on that, and agreed to the policies and all this other crap, the terms and everything that we're supposed to, the agreements, the employee agreements. So they're covered, and they can run the business any which way, wacky way that they want. And that's an entirely different headache altogether that I'm going to be working on. That's the thing that I'm working on right now. Um, as far as this subject goes, the gas prices that have risen again, and all of the people that are saying, well, it's the president, it's the president. It's not the president. I just gave you history. I told you the difference between this president and all the other presidents, and the difference between what the companies used to do and what the companies still want to do, but what the companies are having to do, which leads to what the companies are not doing unless they're strong-armed, which means the president has to be a dictator. But it's not going to happen because we don't have a dictator for a president. So to expect the same old, and all this good stuff, I just had to let all this out because the last thing I want to do is fall into the ranks of, oh, the president is a demon or the president is a saint. It's not about any of that crap. It's all about the money. Belief is the tool. I've been saying that phrase all my life also. And I've been sharing that with you guys for the past 3 years since 2021. It's all about the money. Belief is the tool. And for those of you who are saying, well, why is the president doing this then if it's all about the money? Well, in this case, it's all about America not wasting money, or spending money, I should say, on horrible countries or organizations, governmental organizations, like the ones in Venezuela, and dictators like Putin, as well as horrible organizations in countries like the leaders in the Middle East that are so oppressive to their own people that they try doing the same kind of horse crap with Sharia law and everything in our country and other countries as well, because they think they can get away with it. Because if we tell them, hey, why don't you stop what you're doing, they get to say, look, do you want our oil or fuel or not? They throw that kind of crap. Leaders before this current one would bow down to it. And then we got people here in America saying, well, Sharia law needs to be put into effect. And this is the crap that I've been trying to say, and I do apologize for all the stumbling and all this other stuff. It's all about the money. Belief is the tool. Okay? In this president's case, it's not spending money. It's not spending money on waste of time deals. And the belief is basically because there's a belief that it would stop all of the bad things that's going on, or at least have us stop paying for all the bad things that are going on in the other countries. That's the belief, that it's for the greater good. And I hate to say it, the reaction to it all, that instead of going with the act of greater good, the choice to demonize the guy. I mean, this is the reason why there are people that think that Biden is a saint. This is the reason why people think that Biden is brought on by God. And the ones that's demonizing Biden, if you believe that Trump is brought on by God, it's because he does very well at demonizing other people and making himself look good, which of course we all know is the work of a false prophet. And it's just very disappointing to see people praising a false prophet. So you got guys like me, show of common sense on common ground, letting you know you're not alone. These belief structures are stupid. It's all about the money. Belief is the tool. Don't forget that. And, you're not alone. You're not alone in looking at all of this and saying, man, this is bullshit, you're not alone. So, and I'm sorry that it takes a guy like me who's not a journalist to vent all this out with and every other sentence. But that being said, again, this is just to let you know you're not alone. You're not alone in seeing this bullcrap. You're not going to be alone should you vote for the same president over again, this president again. Because I think that's still the better choice. It's still the better choice. It's still technically the only choice. If we want a president to actually stand up to this crap, we got to keep voting for this current president, because there's no other politician that stood him up or shown him up. There's still no politician that said, F you, Biden. There's still no F you, Putin. There's still no politician that says, F you, Sheik. I don't know. You in the Middle East, that's an asshole. F you, Venezuelan president. Still trying to keep up the stuff that Chavez did. He's been dead for over a decade, for Christ's sake. But yeah, I mean, we still don't have we got no politician that's willing to do that. So we might as well back up the one that is right now, and eventually, hopefully, get around to getting these oil companies and refineries to doing what they're supposed to do in a safe manner and actually beneficial, But it's still a catch-22. It's still a damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I'd rather have a president that does give it a shot and everything. That's my opinion. You guys got to go for what you feel is the best way to go. I'm not going to tell you vote. I'm going to tell you who I'm voting for and why. And that's it. I'm not going to say we all need to do this like the way others are saying to. That's their thing. Mine is one that's a little bit more give you your space kind of segment. So, yeah. All right, I'm already past half an hour. I really didn't want to, but you know how it is when you're venting. You just got to make sure to let it all out and cover all bases and blah, 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 blah. So I got to get to work. Y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. This is Chris with Chris's Comments signing out. Y'all have a good one. Hey, Hump Day Wednesday today by the time of this recording. Almost there. Weekend's almost here. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good one. See you around.